My name is Simplice Bernard. Welcome to Bachelor of Education in Senior Primary, course offered in Year 2, Semester 2. Introduction. I will discuss some of the content of your study guide in order to help you prepare for the upcoming examination. This presentation covers the subject content in brief and some general guidelines that I want everyone to keep in mind when preparing and studying for the August examination. Please note that due to time, I cannot give attention to the whole content, so should you have any questions, please contact me for help. The subject view. Discuss elements of and perspectives on literature. Explain and analyze features of novels and dramas. Analyze and teach poetry. Explain categories and criteria of visual literacy. You will be expected to study aspects of teaching methodology throughout the module. Problem areas. Many students have difficulty with interpreting the questions. Ensure that you understand the level of thinking and actions required by the specific verbs used in the question. Take time to read and reread your answers to ensure that you have covered all the question. You are always expected to give your own insights as well, but be certain that you respond appropriately to what the question requires. Important notes. The August examination is structured as follows. Long questions. These are essay questions with the following verbs: discuss, describe, explain, list. So it means that the August examination is mostly focusing on long questions. Short questions, there are few short questions. Explain, give examples, and definition of terms, whereby you also have to provide relevant examples to the definition of the terms. Important notes. Go through the learning activities at the back of the study guides. Very important. You need to go through all of them in order to prepare for your examination. It's important that you work them out and study and understand the questions and the relevant answers provided for you at the back of your book. Pay attention to the learning outcomes of every unit in the study guide. Read questions clearly with understanding before you attempt to provide your answers. Pay attention to spelling. Spell the words correctly. Always write neat. Make sure that you use the correct grammar. You are only allowed to use blue or black pen. Ballpoint, please. Differences between irony and sarcasm. This was one of the questions that came in the assignment. Many students failed to answer it correctly. Irony. Irony implies the opposite of what is said. The intention is for the opposite to be understood. It is the tone which tempers or conveys this meaning. An example is, I cannot wait for my detention on Friday. afternoon. This person implies that he or she cannot wait for the detention to be over and done. Two types of irony. Situational irony. Here, the opposite of what is expected occurs. Example, a detective who is employed to catch a thief might himself be arrested for his dishonesty. Dramatic irony, when the audience has knowledge of something of which the actors are unaware. This refers to as dramatic irony. Example, two people are engaged to be married, but the audience knows that the man is planning to run away with another woman. Now, this was the question that was in the assignment. The question was differentiate between irony and sarcasm. So your focus was just supposed to be, okay, it was differentiate between sarcasm and irony. So you were just supposed to focus on the differences, give features of irony and features of sarcasm, and do not provide the types of irony, because the focus is to differentiate between irony and sarcasm and provide relevant examples, which most students fail to do. Instead, they provided the two types of irony, which is not correct. Sarcasm, like irony, occurs when one thing is said, but something is intended or understood. It is used with the purpose of hurting, insulting, or humiliating. Relevant examples: Earth is full, go home. So that means maybe you are useless, you are of no importance. The second example: please keep talking, I always yawn when I'm interested. That means maybe when you are talking, the person that you are talking to might be bored or so. Okay, let's look at literature. When studying or analyzing literature, it is always important to consider the following. Now, first of all, you need to ask yourself, as you are going to analyze poetry, novels, and dramas, you need to ask yourself, what is literature? Literature includes fiction. Fiction includes novels and short stories. In your course, you are introduced to novels and short stories. We also have non-fiction, drama, which are plays, poetry, and visual literacy. Visual literacy focuses on given a picture whereby you have to interpret depending on the question provided by the examiner. They are saying that when studying or analyzing a literary work, it is important to consider the title. The title introduces and identifies a particular piece of work. They are saying that it becomes synonymous with the work. The title becomes similar to the work of the author or the poet. Setting. This is the time and place. This context reflects the attitudes and values in which the work is set, written, and received. The characters. Characters are analyzed for their physical appearance, personalities, and actions. Characters are studied and analyzed for their physical appearances and personalities and actions. Sorry, I'm repeating. Appearances: age, physical appearance, dress, social class, mannerism, mode of speech, the accent or dialect, personality, intelligence, sensitivity, attitude, introvert or extrovert. The actions of the characters are interwoven with the plot, subplots, and sub-themes. You will learn to know and understand the characters as a result of what the writer says about them, what other characters say and think about them, their actions and reactions to certain situations and other characters. The main character is called a protagonist. This is the character playing a role within the work of literature. We have themes and main themes. The main themes is, themes are the underlying ideas behind the work. Themes convey the message or messages of the writer and may contain his beliefs and opinions. Themes are conveyed or sometimes conveyed figuratively. They will then be revealed and may only be understood in depth study. Style. Style is the manner in which the work has been written so as to achieve the writer or speaker's purpose. The writers develop individual styles. The style is created and developed by diction, this is word choice, and the language that the poet or author decide to use. The style may be literal or figurative depending from the writer's point of view. It may be formal or informal. Style differ depending on the use of the first or the third person. They are saying that style is dependent on the purpose of the work. A textbook would differ in style from a novel. We're talking about the intention, the setting, the time and place in which the work occurs, the audience, readership for which the work is intended. For example, is it for old people, the youth? Is it for the students, teacher, or lecturers? Whatsoever. The tone. The tone is the manner in which the author expresses him or herself. Tones conveys emotions, underlying feelings, and attitude of the writer. This is imparted through choice of vocabulary, especially in direct speech. The tone may be described as friendly, sharp, sarcastic, ironic, angry. Mood. Mood is the pervading feeling that the reader experiences. After reading a piece of work, it leaves you with a certain type of mood. You may be happy in the end, or you may learn something from it, or you may start asking yourself several questions to why the writer came up with a piece of work or piece of writing. Intention or purpose. Intention is the purpose behind the work. The intention may be to entertain, inform, or educate. A combination of the three may be present. So that's what you need to look at when analyzing or studying literature. You need to consider all the facts that I've mentioned. Various questions to also consider when preparing for your examination, very important. Discuss factors which may hamper using literature. Discuss reason why we could use literature to teach English as a second or a foreign language. Benefits of using short stories. Filmmaking terms, definitions. Study all as you may not know which ones will be part of your examination. Analyzing of poetry. Study all the poems within your study guide and the short stories, as you may not know which will be part of your examination. Beneficial for an English second language teacher to use literature in classroom. Prescribed materials, English Handbook and Study Guide by Lutrin B. and Pincus M. 2010. Study Guide for Major School Subjects, the one that is provided by IOL. Due to time, I have come to the end of the presentation. Good luck with the exams.